All right, so as a homeowner, one of the biggest complaints I hear from other homeowners is that they need to move or they want to move, but they want to find the house before they move, if that makes sense. So you want to make a move or your job is making you move, but you're insecure because you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to live in temporary housing. I don't want to have to move 3 times. How do I do it? And what is that process like? So I want to empower you today and tell you there is a program. Someone created this for us to make it way, way easier. So you can actually buy before you sell. And the way that you do that is you can tap into the equity that you have and prepay that future payment with that future purchase without having to sell your existing home. And then once you sell, it goes to this third-party company. I'm gonna walk you through all of that. What does it cost? How long does it take? What's the process like, right? I'm sure there's a lot of what ifs, so we're gonna break that down exactly today on how to buy before you sell. So step number 1 is gonna be you've gotta talk to a loan officer. Hopefully it's the one that you bought the house with. You guys still have a good working relationship. If not, I've got some really great contacts that I can connect you with who are very much experts in this space. And so they're gonna walk you through, well, how much equity do you have in your existing home? What's your current mortgage payoff? And then what are we looking to purchase on the next home, right? We do have to go through a full pre-approval again for the next purchase, so we're gonna do that. Then once we understand what our leverage is, what we have to work with, what we're comfortable spending, you work with me and we find the right property. We can actually offer on that property without any home sale contingency. So that's another big myth and complaint that I hear from a lot of people is, well, my offer is gonna be weak if I have to sell my house in order to buy the next one. Well, we're not doing this in this case. You can totally use this program to buy completely separate from the sale of your existing home. And so the offer doesn't have to say any of that, right? So we're writing an offer that says it's non-contingent, it's strong, it's just as competitive as everyone else. You are not at a weakness whatsoever. We can secure that home. Then you move into the new home, we are fully acquired, everything is cherry, and then we're gonna sell the home after the fact, and then you can actually cash out on your equity fully if there's any difference left over, and then definitely make that smooth transition. So it's a 3-step process. 1, you're gonna talk to the lender. 2, we're gonna shop for the home and get the home, and then 3, we're gonna sell, okay? 1, 2, 3. Now let's go through some of the frequently asked questions that I get on this program. All right, so what does it cost, right? So number 1, it's free. It's free to get a quote. It's free to understand about the program. It's free to run the numbers. Now let's say you're gonna utilize the program. We're taking advantage of our home equity and we're gonna be able to buy the next one without actually tapping into it yet. How do we do that, right? So the program is called Home Light, and so there is a flat fee of 2.4% of the departing resident's home sale. So we're just gonna factor that number in. First thing we're doing is talking to a lender, running those numbers. They're gonna factor that in for you in the beginning. And so you're gonna say, based on my equity, based on the fee, does this next purchase make sense using this program, right? So 2.4% are not a lot for the peace of mind that you're gonna get instead of doing it the traditional way where you are home sale contingent, there's all these moving parts, and instead we can just focus on one mission at a time. All right, so how do you determine how much equity you can unlock from your current home? Well, what do we look at, right? So the amount of equity you can unlock is determined using their special algorithm. So they're basically gonna say, hey, you've paid off a certain amount, your home value is worth this is the amount we can use and leverage for the next purchase. So again, that's the lender's job. We're totally gonna pass the baton to them and they'll send a report back to us. What if your home is already listed? Can you use this program? Absolutely, because you can still buy before you sell, right? We're not waiting for your home to sell and then buy. You can do it simultaneously if you want, even if you don't have offers on your current home. So we rule that one out. What do you do if your current home doesn't sell? So let's say we've locked in on this program. We're like, yes, we're gonna buy first, then sell later. What if you can't sell? What are you supposed to do, right? Okay, so what this program does is once you're locked in, if your home doesn't sell within 90 days of closing on your new one, Home Light's actually gonna buy the property from you and continue to work with you to sell it. So any profits from the sale after your incurred costs will be distributed back to you as the client. So essentially, Home Light's gonna buy the property from you, so there's no risk there. They've already taken advantage of it, and they're gonna work with us to sell that property at that point. The last question I get is, well, what can I use my equity for? Is it only for a down payment, or what else can I use it for? Because when you have equity in a home, you can kind of leverage it like your own bank, okay? So you've got this revolving bank account that you can kind of work with based on what you've paid off on your home, plus the value that it's appreciated. You can actually use it for more than just a down payment. You can use it for repair costs. So let's say we buy a fixer-upper. We can use that equity to renovate the kitchen, renovate the bathrooms, you name it. You can use it for moving expenses. If you're gonna hire the movers, it's gonna be $5,000 for a 3-bed house in multiple hours, right? Hire the movers with that equity. You can also use it for closing expenses. So we have closing costs on both the buy side and the sell side. You can use that equity so you don't have to pay cash out of pocket on this transaction either. So you guys can see there's a lot of win-win-wins on this deal, and it's actually a program that's fairly new to me. I didn't hear about it until I was just on a recent seller's consultation where he was expressing to us, I want to sell my home, but not until I find the next home first, right? He doesn't want to be homeless. So we're kind of in this chicken or the egg situation. Well, in this case, he has significant equity. He's owned the home over 10 years. He's in a really good position to utilize this program, take the small hit of the 2.4%, buy the next home first. After he's in, then we're going to list his condo for sale and he can fully reap all the benefits of that purchase. So if that's you and you have questions about how this works, what it looks like for your unique situation for your family, I want you guys to email me at marina.tolentino@exprealty.com. We're going to do this breakdown with you and just say, hey, on an educational standpoint, these are your options. Now what do you want to do with it? You don't have to do anything. It's totally pressure free, but at least you can walk away and say, hey, I learned something new. At least I know I have this in my back pocket. If and when I do need to move, I know this program exists for me. So I hope this was helpful. Ask questions in the comments below of what you want to know, but I'm always here to be a resource for you for all things Oahu real estate, and I'll see you again next Friday with another video.